Put me down, you big...
Hey, Ellie Mae, this one's to you from Miss Jane. Listen to this. To Ellie Mae, so sweet and fair. Use this gift to have dry hair.
Sounds like it's gonna rain.
Hey, Jethro, this one here is for you. Ellie, too.
Hey, it's from Mr. and Mrs. Drysdale. What do you think's in it?
One way to find out.
Open it up.
Look at Pa, it's a hat.
Ain't that pretty? Feels like a rain hat.
Yeah, this'll sure enough keep my hair dry when I'm walking in the rain.
What's this hose for in the back?
Well, I reckon that's to let the water drain off.
Hey, Uncle Jed. Look what I got, a brand new suit of clothes.
Looks like it's made out of rubber.
Fella sure could keep drying this rascal.
I reckon it's for walking in the rain like Ellie's hat.
I reckon these go on my feet.
Be kind of awkward walking in these. I'll tell you what, Jethro. Why don't you put the whole thing on? We'll see how it looks.
Hey, yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
What you got there, Granny?
Near as I can figure, it's one of them electric washing machines like we got out back. Only this one's got a clothes drying rack on it.
A lot fancier than that other machine.
So dad blame fancy, I can't figure out how to get the clothes in it.
Let's see now. You got a knob here marked on. Let's turn that and see what happens.
A lot quieter than the other one.
I don't think it's working, Granny.
Don't hardly see how it could. No way to put water in it.
Maybe it's lighting up.
Looky yonder.
It's done got water in it.
Water in it. Look at that.
There's fish in there. Ellie Mae?
I didn't see it. Dad, come and shut this thing off! Quick!
What'd you see?
I ain't telling, but one thing's certain. I ain't gonna wash none of our clothes in there until that water's been changed.
Well, give us a pretty washing machine, Pa.
The Drysdales. Oh, Ellie, did you get Miss Drysdale's present?
Sure did. I'll fetch it.
What's that girl got on her head?
Oh, that's her new rain hat. Miss Jane gave it to her.
I thought it wasn't supposed to rain out here much.
Here it is.
What kind of a varmint is that?
It's what Miss Drysdale wants most of all for Christmas. A mink.
Well, Miss Drysdale especially wanted a full-length mink. Is this one fill a bill?
Yes, sir. It's as long as they come.
I know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask you anyway. You didn't by any chance steal this critter, did you?
No, sir.
Well, I know you hadn't, but Miss Drysdale made such a point of it. She said she didn't want no mink stole.
Reuben, just what I wanted most of all. A full-length mink.
Oh, I'm glad you like it, dear. Well, now, I got to dash over to the Clampetts before they go outside and discover their boat.
Their what?
We gave them a boat for Christmas, among other things. And I had the boat company deliver it and put it right in front of their door. Oh, Ravenswood, the skipper dressed?
Very nearly, sir.
A boat and a skipper? Isn't that overdoing it?
All part of a very clever strategy, Margaret. Now, if I can get Jed hooked on sailing, Jethro and Ellie Mae on skin diving, and Granny on deep-sea fishing, they'll never want to go back to the hills. Those are things you can't do without an ocean.
But, Milburn, I don't want them to stay here.
But, Margaret, I do. Now, you don't get coats like that with bottle caps. And just for insurance, I gave them a television set. That's something else they can't get back in the hills.
The skipper is ready, sir. Here he is, sir.
Why, it's an ape.
Oh, no, it's a chimp. And Ellie Mae will be crazy about it.
Oh, I hope so, sir. I would not like to add to my regular duties the daily grooming and dressing of a anthropoid.
Well, let's take him next door. We'll put him on the boat, ring the doorbell, and run.
Yes, sir. Madam, After you, sir.
Looks like an overgrown tadpole.
Lucky I got one like Jethro, too.
Sure is hot in this thing.
I reckon it was meant to be wore mostly in the rain.
How come the Drysdales are giving us so much rain stuff when it ain't supposed to rain out here?
Maybe they know something we don't, Granny.
Well, I'm gonna get out of this thing.
There goes that rascal playing that music again.
Think he'd learn something new for Christmas.
Yeah, I heard somebody drive off.
Maybe it's that fella that plays the music.
Well, we can't begrudge him taking Christmas Day off. Granny, you recollect hearing it rain last night?
No.
How about you, Ellie?
No, sir, I didn't hear.
Well, we must have slept through a regular cloudburst.
What you mean?
What I mean is that sometime during the night, somebody sailed a boat up our driveway.
How do you reckon anybody could sail a boat up here?
I don't see no high water mark on the house.
Well, if there wasn't no water, he must have got caught in a heap of wind. Let me fetch Jethro out here. I'm going to need help moving this thing.
Yes, sir, Pa.
Now, whoever done this was a mighty poor sailor.
Granny, maybe he was just celebrating a mite too much last evening.
Let's face it, he was drunk as a skunk.
See if he's still in there. Granny, we don't want to mean-mouth that sailor too much. If I looked like that, I might take to drink myself.
Great clouds of blue gnats. That's the hairiest, ugliest sailor I ever did see.
Granny, we don't want to hurt his feelings. He might have got lost at sea and hadn't had a chance to shave.
Come on out, you're saved. We help you.
Yeah, don't be afraid. You're on dry land now. You're among friends.
He ain't coming out.
Maybe he don't understand our kind of talk. Maybe he ain't American.
I hope he ain't. He's no bigger than this and bow-legged to boot.
Yonder it is, Jethro.
Hot diggity dog, is this ship ourn?
No, I think it's wood.
There's a little sailor boy in there.
He looks like a monkey.
Shh, Jethro, don't say things like that. He don't want to come out as it is.
Why, that there's what you call a chimpanzee.
Thank goodness he ain't an American boy.
I'll go fetch him out.
I reckon if anybody can make a sailor leave his boat, it's Ellie Mae. Jethro, you'd best go along with her. From the looks of him, he's been to sea a powerful long time.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jim.
Oh, come on, Margaret, hurry up.
I'm coming, Milburn. Who are we going to drop in on? The Art Linkletters? The George Burnses? The Jack Bennies?
The Jed Clampetts.
I refuse to go slumming on Christmas.
Well, suit yourself. Oh, I understand they have a sensational gift for you.
Oh? What is it?
Well, who knows? With their millions, it could be the Hope Diamond.
It is the season of goodwill. Come along, dear.
Howdy there, Mr. and Mrs. Drysdale. Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, the same to you.
And many, many more.
I'm sorry about this boat kind of blocking the driveway here. It was sailed up there last night by a little critter called chimpanzee.
Oh, no. The chimpanzee didn't do it. He's a present for Ellie Mae.
From Milburn and me, we know how fond the dear girl is of critters.
Well, thank you very much.
I had the boat put there, Mr. Clampett. It's a gift for you.
From Milburn and me, we know how fond you are of outdoorsy things.
Yes. Oh, by the way, you'll find a trailer for the boat in your garage.
Trailer?
From Milburn and me, we know how fond
Margaret,
you are.
it has wheels. You can put the boat on it and haul it any place you'd like to go.
Well, we sure are obliged for all the nice things you give us. We got a mighty nice present for you, too, Miss Drysdale.
How big? How nice.
Well, speaking of size, Ellie Mae says it's the biggest there is.
Oh, you shouldn't have done it.
We shouldn't? Well, we could always take it back.
Oh, no. That was just an expression like, diamonds are a girl's best friend.
Margaret, why don't you go on in? There are some features of the boat I'd like to point out to Mr. Clampett.
Yes, dear. See you later. Diamonds are a girl's best friend. It's working beautifully, isn't it?
I guess so. Where all the water coming from?
From Lake Erie,
Where's it going?
Lake Ontario.
Well, I hope it don't flood our house on the way.
Oh, Granny, you're so droll. Mr. Clampett tells me you have a gift for me.
You betcha we have. Ellie Mae's got it out back. In with it.
Oh, my goodness. I hope she doesn't lose it.
Oh, no. She's got it on a chain.
Oh, well, let's hurry anyway, huh?
All right. You beat me eating bananas. But you gotta admit, I whooped you eating grits. And I bet you I can beat you drinking milk, too. First, I gotta rest a mite.
Hello? You and Skipper run out back and fetch Ellie Mae. Tell her Miss Drysdale's here for her present.
Yes, Miss Granny. Howdy, Miss Drysdale.
Hello, Jethro, dear boy. Hello, little sailor.
He don't talk American.
He's a chimpanzee. Come on, Skipper.
Sit down, Miss Drysdale, while we're waiting for Ellie Mae, and I'll give you your other present.
Oh, another present?
Yes, ma'am. This here is my special Christmas gift pack. Chock full of good things to eat.
Oh, it's simply beautiful. What are these divine-looking morsels?
Well, up here we have deviled hawk eggs, pickled crow gizzards, possum sausages, candied catfish, and over here we have some larrapin' good little teensy owl burgers.
Please, no more.
Got your mouth to watering, huh? Real hip yourself. It's Christmas.
Miss Drysdale, I'm awful sorry, but I lost your present.
Oh, no.
Yes, ma'am. I was playing with it by the cement pond, and the chain broke, and it got away, and I just can't find it.
This is terrible. This is tragic. Oh.
Awful sorry, Granny.
Oh, don't worry, Ellie. I'll make it up to her. I'll give her 2 of my special Christmas gift packs.
Yes, Mr. Clampett, I predict that you're going to get many, many hours of enjoyment from that little craft. Boating has become a tremendously popular sport here in... How do you like that? That hunk of fur lying on the floor is worth $10,000.
You don't say. I only paid 2 bits for him when he was a pup. You hear that? You're worth $10,000, you old rascal.
No, I was referring to this hunk of fur, my wife's brand new coat.
Oh,
I gave it to her this morning, and already she leaves it lying around on the floor.
that fur cost you $10,000?
Yes, it did.
That's a heap of money to pay to keep warm in a place that's warm to start off with.
Yes, you're right. But this is a Beverly Hills status symbol.
Oh.
By golly, I'm going to teach her a lesson. That woman thinks my money grows on trees.
Where are you going, Mr. Drysdale?
I'm going to take this home and hide it. I'll see you later.
Duke, I never will understand these city husbands. Back home, when a woman done something to rile her man, he'd just take her over his knee and whomp her a few. Mr. Drysdale's fixing to play hide and seek.
We want to get a better look at Skipper's boat.
Well, that's our boat, Jethro. It's a present for Mr. and Mrs. Drysdale. Oh, by the way, Ellie Mae, did you give Miss Drysdale her present?
I'm awful sorry, Pa. I was playing with the little critter and it got away.
Miss Drysdale is fit to be tied.
Yeah, you ought to see her, Uncle Jed. Well, she's crawling around on her hands and knees, rooting through the bushes like a hungry hog. Come on, Skip.
It ain't funny, Jethro. She done give the little critter a name and everything.
You don't say.
Yes, sir, she calls it Jim. She's a-crawling around a-moaning and a-saying, where is it? Where's my beautiful Jim?
You think Ellie Mae is fond of critters? Why, that woman is like to go out of her mind over that pesky little varmint.
What'd you say you called it again, Ellie?
A mink. I offered to give her my squirrel, my polecat, or my possum, or anything. She wouldn't even listen. She just went right ahead a-moaning and a-rooting.
I even offered her 2 of my special gift packs. Even that didn't quieten her down.
Well, when that little mink gets hungry, he'll show up. Come on, let's go look at our boat.
Oh, where's my mink? Where's my beautiful mink? It's gone. Oh, dear. Melbourne! 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 Oh,
Your husband's gone home, Miss Drysdale.
my mink is gone. My beautiful full-length mink. Has anyone seen it?
Oh, but come supper time, it's liable to show up.
Oh, disastrous day.
Oh, now calm down. Wouldn't you just as lief have a rabbit or a squirrel or a raccoon?
No, I want my mink. Melbourne! Melbourne!
You're right, Granny. Even Ellie wouldn't be that grieved over a lost critter, especially one she never laid eyes on.
The poor woman is so busted up she even forgot my special gift packs.
Well, we can take them over later.
Yeah. And the special one I made for Mr. Drysdale. It's 4 feet high. And right in the middle it has a smoked pig with a hedge apple in his mouth.
That ought to cheer him up. Oh, good. Here comes Jethro and Ellie on the truck. Now we can go out and find some water to float our boat in.
Who's that sitting up there beside Ellie?
That's Skipper. Looks like they got a coat and a hat on her.
I'd give Skipper Ink Pearl's old hat and coat, because he's from the warm country now. Here's your wraps.
That's fine, Ellie. Well, Jethro, where you reckon we ought to look first?
Well, I hear tell there's a Los Angeles River. How about that?
Well, sounds like that ought to float a good-sized boat. Let's get rolling.
Hey, Uncle Jed, yonder is a boat.
That boat was rolling on wheels.
Mr. Drysdale give us wheels for our boat, too.
Yonder goes another one.
Let's get off the freeways, Jethro. Try some other streets. Now, everybody keep your eyes peeled for water and boats.
Yonder's one.
There's a whole lot full. On wheels, too.
Watch out, Jethro. You'll run into that.
Uncle Jed.
My doggies, they's all on wheels. Well, that was a dandy ride. I know now why Mr. Drysdale gives us them wheels for our boat.
There's not enough water in this place to boil an egg, let alone float a boat.
Oh, we gonna put our boat on wheels and haul it around the street?
Well, that wouldn't be much fun. You can't dive off it. You can't fish off it. You can't...
Well, I don't know, Jethro. It must be some fun or all them people wouldn't be doing it.
Come here, quick.
What's the matter, Granny?
No wonder we couldn't find any water. Looky here. Even the washing machine is dried up.
Well, it's been a dry Christmas, but a right merry one.
Presentation.
This enough taters, Uncle Jed?
Don't hardly look it, Jethro.
Well, it Pete, pretty near 2 dozen.
Better fetch me the peelings. I got a feeling that's where most of the taters is. Doggies.
How's it taste, Uncle Jed?
Pitiful. Maybe them peelings will help. Dump them in.
Doggone, it just don't seem right, us doing women's work, whilst Granny sits in front of that TV set all day.
Ever since she found out it wasn't a washing machine, she ain't been more than 3 feet away from it. She's like a young'un with a new toy.
Like Ellie with her new critter. How come she ain't in her doing this cooking?
Jethro, I just don't believe Ellie was cut out for fixing victuals. Never forget the time she made that gooseberry pie. Ruined our best goose and a whole bucket of berries.
You mean she put together?
She did, and it was a mess, I'll tell you. I got her and Skipper out looking for stuff to put in this here.
Pa, Skipper found some onions.
Onion? Hey, they ought to go dandy in here.
Go on, Skipper, give them to Pa.
Thank you, Skipper. These here Beverly Hills onions ain't got a lot of bite to them. But the tops sure do flower out pretty. Jethro? Wash these and drop them in the pot.
Tops and all?
Yeah, we need all the flavor we can get. Where'd you find them, Ellie?
Over to the Drysdales.
Did you ask the Drysdales, could you buy her some onion?
Oh, yes, sir, Pa. Miss Drysdale says go around to the kitchen door and get some from the cook. But Skipper found some on the way, and we didn't have to bother nobody.
Fine and dandy. Well, drop them in the pot, Jethro. Don't just stand there sniffing them.
Would you like some more? There's a whole big patch of them.
A few more might help, Ellie. That stew ain't got too much going for it.
Come on, Skipper. Let's go pull up some more onions.
How's it going, boy?
Better?
Still pitiful. Even these onions ain't doing nothing. You just got to get Granny to help us.
You ain't gonna pry her loose from that TV set now. This is the time her favorite is on.
You mean that big strapping cowboy star?
That's right. Marshal Quirt Manley, 2-gun tamer of the Wild West.
Look out, Quirt! Them rustlers are sneaking up behind you, fixing to shoot you in the back. Look out! Ooh, they got you. Ooh, they got you again. Oh, you're done for now, Quirt. That's it, you dirty coward! Ride off and leave him with a back full of bullets! Attaboy, Quirt, after him! Get him! Catch him, Quirt! I can tell you where they's headed, Quirt. To town to hide in the saloon.
Granny.
It won't do you no good to hide in that saloon, you dirty yellow cowards. Quirt will find you. He'll get you.
Granny.
Shh. Yonder comes Quirt, riding like the wind. That's it. That's where they are. Go get 'em. It won't do you no good to hide in that saloon. I told Quirt where to look.
Say your prayers, yellow bellies. I'm coming in.
Is he going to tackle that whole saloon full of bad men all by himself?
You betcha. Quirt Manley don't need no help. Even with 30 or 40 bullets in him, he's more than a match for him.
He's lighting into him.
See, Jed? I told you he didn't need no help. Look at them run, the yellow bellies.
He's right smart of a man, all right.
Old Quirt chased them clean out of town.
Next time, I won't go so easy on you.
Yes, sir, Granny. He sure is a rip-snorting fighter, old Quirt. Oh, look yonder. Now he's fixing to wrestle his horse.
No, Jed. After a fight, he always hugs old Silver Trigger. And then he rides off into the sunset. See? Here they go.
Fine figure of a man. Sits tall in the saddle. Well, don't he have no sweetheart like Hoot Gibson always had?
No. Ain't no girl good enough for Quirt Manley. He only loves his horse and his dog.
Him and Ellie sure hit it off. Both of them being fond of critters and neither one of them having a sweetheart.
Yonder goes the man for Ellie Mae. If he can tame the whole Wild West, I reckon he can tame one wild girl.
Leastwise, he'd have a fighting chance. Whereabouts would a fella go to find old Quirt?
Off into the sunset, I reckon. That's where they always go.
Mighty big place to commence looking.
Sorry, Skipper, but you must not uproot Mrs. Drysdale's prize, Bulbocodium vernum. That's the botanical term for daffodil. Now, if you're a good boy, if you're a good boy, Jane has a reward for you. A genuine Quirt Manley cowboy outfit. I bet you like it.
Oh, howdy, Miss Jane.
Greetings, Jethro. And how is my strong, handsome, manly hero today?
Well, you'll have to ask Granny. She's the one that watches him.
Watches who?
Quirt Manley.
Oh, you thought I was referring to the television star.
Oh, I know you're hungry, Skipper. So am I, but this stew ain't nearly ready yet.
Stew? Jethro, what are you putting in there?
Everything I can lay my hands on. Why, it ain't got no flavor at all.
Oh, no, Jethro. Not tea. Oh, you poor dear boy. You need a woman to do this kind of work for you.
That's a fact. You can say that again.
There happens to be such a woman available.
I know, but I don't stand much chance with her.
Would you like her to take over right now and prepare you a delicious meal?
I sure would.
Then drop to your knees, my handsome one, and ask me the question that is in your heart.
Please, will you go get Granny?
Yes! My answer is Granny!
Get up off that floor and stir the stew. Miss Jane, will you stay and have victuals with us, such as they is?
Oh, well, yes, but why not let me do...
Hey, Skipper! Come on, Skipper, let's swing to the tree.
Ellie, what are you doing?
We's playing ace. Look here.
Ellie, no, please, be careful!
I sure would like to know where to find that Quirt Manley.
If you mean the television star, he lives right here in Beverly Hills.
He does? Could we get him to meet up with Ellie Mae?
I'm sure Mr. Drysdale could arrange it.
I sure wish he'd hurry. That little monkey's liable to get himself hurt. I see you got some victuals.
Well, yes, sir, Uncle Jed. Told the fella down at the store about Granny watching TV all day instead of cooking. So he sold me these TV victuals, all packaged up and ready to eat.
Well, that's fine. Now, when Quirt Manley gets here, we got something else to offer him besides that pitiful stew.
Is Quirt Manley coming here?
That's right. Now, I want you to get the truck around back so when he rides up here, his horse won't shy at it.
Yes, sir.
And see your guns clean good. We'll ask him to give us some shooting lessons.
But we know how to shoot.
Not like that, rascal. Granny says he can drop 7, 8 rustlers with one shot. That ain't all. He's got a couple 6-shooters that shoot all day without reloading.
Well, I can't wait to meet that rascal.
Granny, Mr. Clampetts, Quirt Manley just turned into your driveway.
Quirt Manley!
Yes, I knew Mr. Drysdale could arrange it.
Quirt could put the whole bowl full of you.
Come on, Granny. Miss Jane, you find Ellie Mae and get her into a dress.
Yes.
That's Quirt, all right. I ain't no silver triggers in any place.
What about them 2 gunshots?
Brace yourself, Jed. We're liable to find 30 or 40 rustlers laying out front. Don't shoot, Quirt. We ain't rustlers.
We's friends, Miss Manley.
That we is. How come you ain't riding Silver Trigger? Did them dirty rustlers get him?
We'll help you find him, but I ain't no Quirt Manley.
Jed, There's only one man like him. Why, he's the biggest, the bravest, the fightingest, the strongest, the hard-ridingest, and the straight-shootingest man alive.
Are you people putting me on?
Who said that? Somebody back here?
Is that you spoke, Mr. Manley?
Oh, yeah. Well, sure it was. I got a sore throat. Sometimes the voice just sneaks out that way.
Come on in, Quirt. I'll doctor you.
Ain't got the time, ma'am. Ain't got the time. Still, I'll autograph a couple of pictures for you before I go. There you are. Well, so long now. I got to be driving off into the sunset.
Wait a minute, what about Ellie Mae?
Ellie Mae? Well, sure. There you are.
Mr. Clampett, Ellie Mae is swinging through the trees with Skipper and refuses to come down.
I'll go fetch her down if you can keep Mr. Manley from leaving.
Please don't go, Quirt.
Well, sorry, ma'am, but gotta hit the trail. Well, so long, y'all.
Hold on there, Mr. Manley. My boss, Mr. Drysdale, has been speaking with your boss, the sponsor, and he wants you to stay here and meet Ellie Mae.
Oh, well, in that case, I reckon I could spare a couple of moments.
Bless you, Quirt. Oh, bless you, Quirt. Ellie Mae is the wildest young'un that ever come down from the hills. But if there's one man alive who can tame her, it's big Quirt Manley.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I wish I was 10 years younger. I tell you right now, I'd give that Ellie Mae a run for her money. I always was partial to tall men. Come on. You and me are gonna have to jug together. Oh, I know you don't drink, but it won't hurt you to fall off the wagon just once.
Ellie Mae, I don't want no more arguments from you. You get up them back stairs and change into a dress.
Well, why can't I wear cowboy clothes like Quirt Manley?
Because a man like Manley wants a woman that's womanly now.
Lovely, Ellie Mae. Simply lovely. Here. I'll go the back way and get your father.
Yonder he sits. That's him, with the broad shoulders and hat. Sits tall in the chair, don't he?
Sure does, Granny.
Wait till he stands up. Your heart will jump right into your mouth. Mr. Manley, this here is Ellie Mae.
Howdy do. Let's make your acquaintance.
Dad! Dad! The rustlers must have jumped Quirt whilst we were out. Look, look!
We gotta catch him, Granny. They done run off with the best part of it.
Gee, that's the first time I've ever seen a swimming chicken.
Shucks, that's nothing. I got a cat that swims, too. And a rooster that plays dead, a dog that climbs trees, and a turkey that shakes hands.
My goodness, I just love animals like these. That is, the little ones. Big animals like horses kind of scare me.
But you ride like the wind on TV.
Oh, that's not me, Ellie Mae. That's my double. He does my riding, shooting, fighting, falling off cliffs and things like that. I have another double who does the deep voice for me. I call him my double-double.
What do you do, Mr. Manley?
Oh, please, Ellie Mae. Call me Henry. That's my real name, you see. I'm only on the show because my father's the sponsor. They just use me for close-ups. They say I have a sincere face.
Got a nice face. I like it.
Oh, thank you, Ellie Mae. I like your face, too. And now that I come to think of it, I like the rest of you. Did you notice that rhymed?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I really like to do. Make up poems for girls like you.
Well, there goes another one right there.
They just pop out of me at times. Would you like me to make up a poem about a raccoon?
I sure would, and Elmer would, too.
Very well. I like the raccoon because he is so filled with goodness and generosity. Well, look how he gives us his skin for use on our garments and other apparel. In addition, raccoons act natural and don't put on airs, as do skunks and old turnips.
You're up, Granny. Someone here to see you.
Well, I don't want to see him. He reminds me of Pert Manley. Oh, he's a heap more of a man. Handles a gun a heap better, too. He's the one that ought to be on TV.
Hi, Ellie Mae. Hey, excuse me, little fella. Can you tell me where I can find Mr. Quirt Manley? I noticed you was toting his hat for him.
Well, this here is Quirt Manley, Jethro.
Stop joking, Ellie Mae. I'm in a hurry. I want to ask him if I can borrow his pretty car to drive around the block a couple times.
Oh, yes, you may, Jethro. The car belongs to my father, so it's all right.
Phew! Hey, do you think he'd tear me to pieces if I borrowed his hat, too?
I can promise you he won't.
No!
Mr. Manley, can I have a word with you, please?
I know what you're going to say, Mr. Clampett, and I don't blame you for wanting to shoot me.
Oh, ain't nothing like that at all. I just want to talk to you about Granny.
Guess I must have been a terrible disappointment to her.
She is a mite let down, but I think we can pull her out of it if we all tug together. Now, first off, I'm going to learn you how to shoot a gun, and Ellie here is going to learn you how to fight.
I'm afraid of guns, but I might like learning to fight.
Ma'am, you hadn't ought to jumped in the car like that, especially with me going pretty near 30 miles an hour.
I'd do anything to sit next to Quirt Manley.
But my name ain't Quirt Manley.
Don't think you can fool me. I've seen you on television. And I've dreamed of the day when I could get close enough to throw my arms around you and kiss you. My darling Quirt.
But honest, ma'am, my name is...
Your name is what?
My name is Kurt Manley.
I tell you, Granny, that little feller is a crack shot. He can stand on our front porch and light a match clean out by the front gate with a 6-shooter.
I don't believe it.
Come on out, he'll show you.
Jed tells me you're pretty good with them 6-shooters.
Granny, he's a blue-tailed marvel. He's gonna whip out them guns and bam, 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 light them 3 matches stuck in the ground down there this side of the wall.
I believe it when I see it.
All right.
Where you going?
Oh, I can't bear to watch him. He puts me plumb to shame.
Well, come in shooting.
You count to 3, and I'll draw and fire.
1, 2, 3. Well, I gotta admit, that's pretty good. Why, you ain't even drawed your guns, you little faker, you!
Granny, hold on!
That little sawed-off faker out of here!
But Ellie's right fond of him. You see, Granny, some heroes is fighters and some heroes is lovers, and I reckon that little cowboy is a lover.
Oh, gosh. I'm gonna get my shotgun and blast the inside out of that lying TV set, and if he ain't gone by then, he's next.
Granny, wait.
Hey, look at there! Look at what I got!
Get through. Where'd you get all these girls?
Well, they think I'm a rich TV star.
Say, you girls counting the money. I'll show you how you can divide up that whole roll. He's a little cowboy inside there. All you got to do is go in there and make a big fuss over him and take on about how cute he is. Will you do it?
Sure.
Them girls was mine!
You'll get him back here through as soon as they show Granny what a ladies' man little quirt is.
Can't
you see who they's all crazy about?
You betcha. He's a real star, that little feller.
You got the wrong little cowboy. Now, Granny, don't shoot the TV set.
It's easy. I just throw this stick out yonder, you pick it up and fetch it back. Okay? Well, we'll do it again. Go on, boy. Get it. Fetch it, too. Fetch it, fetch it. All right, I'll show you. Just once more now. You watch. Catch on, Duke? Catch on, boy? Do it once more. Fetch it, Duke. Get it. Come on. Get it. Shucks. You know something, Uncle Jed? That there is a real dumb dog.
Well, I don't think he's so dumb, Jethro. He just learned you how to fetch sticks for him.
But the dog is the one that's supposed to do the fetching. Why, there's a fella down the street that has a dog that fetches sticks for him all day.
Well, next time you want some sticks fetched, go down the street and let that dog fetch them. He just don't care nothing about it.
Top bottle top. Jed, do you want some victuals today?
I do, Granny. I've worked up a right smart appetite fetching sticks for old Duke.
See, Jed, that's the trouble around here. The critters are taking over. Ellie Mae has done made pets out of everything but my pickled turnips. What's we gonna do for victuals?
Hey, I remember something Mr. Drysdale told us when we first moved in here.
What's that?
He said anytime Granny didn't feel like cooking, there was some folks that'd fetch food over to us.
Here in Beverly Hills?
Yes, ma'am. All you gotta do is call them on the telephone and tell them what you want.
Well, doggies. That's mighty neighborly. You recall a name, Jethro?
Let's see. Cater.
Recall her first name?
It's a woman. Beverly.
Beverly Caterer?
Must be a widow woman.
They's the best cook, Dad. They have more time.
Well, let's call up the widow and see what she's got cooking today.
Now, just a minute, Jed. I want it made clear that I'm going to do something for her in return.
Oh, naturally. We don't take charity.
Come on, Duke. Let's try it again.
Oh, howdy, Miss Operator. This here is Jed Clampett. Well, I'm wanting to call a widow caterer. Beverly's a Christian name. I don't rightly know what her late husband was called. Anyway, she's the one that cooks the food and takes it around to folks. Yes, ma'am, that's it. Beverly Caterer. Oh, caterers, is it? More than one. Looks like the widow's got some young'uns to help her.
That's good, Jed. Most times they leave home, just when you...
Well, thank you, ma'am. What was that you saying, Granny?
I was saying that most times the young'uns leave home, just about the time that you're...
Well, howdy to you, Miss Beverly Caterer. This here is Jed Clampett. Sounds like a right friendly woman.
Howdy, Beverly, this here's Granny. I'm a widow myself. And I was just saying to Jed, it's nice when the young'uns stay home to help you. So many times they leave, just when you need 'em most.
I'll let you women folks talk about the victuals, but first I just want to say if you ever need a fence mended or a well dug or any heavy work at all, you just call on Jethro and me. Now, here's Granny.
Beverly, what you got on the back of the stove this morning? I don't want to put you to no extra trouble. Huh? Well, me, I'm partial to baked possum, but we'll take jowls or fatback or sow belly. Any kind of meat'll pleasure us considerable. Bunch of nuts. Well, you can send them along. I'll tell you right now, the critters will get the bulk of them. Now tell me something we can do for you, honey. Do what? Hello? I declare, Jed, I never knowed anybody could turn nasty quicker than her.
I wonder what set her off.
Hard to tell, Jed. A generous woman like her probably gets took advantage of a lot. And tired to boot, I reckon.
Uncle Jed, I can't learn this dumb old dog to fetch his stick.
Well, Duke ain't a bunch of wasted time chasing a piece of wood. He's a hunting dog.
Well, can I take him hunting then? I'd like to see him chase something.
Praise be. That's an idea that might put some fresh meat on our table.
All right, boy. It makes more sense than fetching a stick, especially the Duke.
You want to come along, Granny?
No, I better stay here and guard my kitchen.
Okay. Come on, Duke. Let's get the guns.
Guard your kitchen against who, Granny?
Against Ellie's critters, that's who. They's beginning to take over. Why, I can't hardly... That little rascal learned to open the icebox. Them's the last of my pickled pawpaws.
Oh, gee, thank goodness you're back. I didn't want to disturb you at the meeting, but your wife has been calling frantically.
Oh, that woman gets hysterical over nothing. What's it now?
Well, it seems there's a kangaroo in your backyard.
You see, the slightest little... What? What? A kangaroo? Where did it come from?
Australia. That's the only continent where...
Oh, I know that. How did it get in my backyard?
Well, your wife was rather incoherent, but Ravenswood said it's from the Second National Bank of Melbourne.
Second National Bank. Oh, that's where Gene Sandbloom was transferred to from... That explains his Christmas card.
May I share the humor of the situation, Chief?
Well, I sent him an alligator wallet, so he said he was going to send me a kangaroo pouch.
Kangaroo pouch? On the hop, as it were. Mr. Sandbloom does have a sense of humor.
Yes, we'll have the zoo pick it up. I'll call Margaret.
Mr. Drysdale's office? Oh, Ravenswood. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Good, I'll tell Mr. Drysdale. Oh, and don't worry about the kangaroo. The zoo will take care of it. Right. Cheerio. Ravenswood has your wife under sedation, and she's resting comfortably.
Oh, good.
A bit of mutton and Yorkshire pudding should hit the spot. You may be from down under, but we're all part of the empire. Oh, drat. The zoo must have already come for you.
Oh, I'm gonna cook up a rabbit stew. Soon as Jethro shoots me one or two, then we'll all sit down to the table and we'll eat, and we'll eat.
How you going, Granny?
Kid, did Jethro leave to go hunting yet?
Yep.
Well, he needn't have bothered. There's a jackrabbit out back that high. Now, you hold on, Jed Clampett. I tell you, I ain't touched a drop. And there is a giant jackrabbit out in our backyard, and it is this high.
Granny, you and me has seen some good-sized jacks in our day, but not 5 foot tall.
Kid, there's a lot of things we never seen back home that we are seeing out here. And that's one of them. A piano playing, icebox opener, paw pilfered ape.
All right, Granny. I'll go take a look at your jackrabbit.
Come on, you can see for yourself. He can jump over this house, I tell you, in one hop.
Whereabouts is he?
I don't know. But sure as I live and breathe, he was sitting right there, 5 foot tall and looking me in the eye.
5 foot tall setting, was he?
Yes, he was. Where did that jackrabbit go?
Well, why don't you look out front? Maybe he hopped over the house, just like you said.
You think I'm talking nonsense, but you'll see, because I'll find him.
What's all shouting about, Granny?
Nothing. Don't tell her, Jed. I don't want her making a pet out of all that meat. Let me go in the kitchen and get out my biggest pot and start peeling taters. Lots of them. Here, Jack. Here, Jack. Here, Jack.
Who's Jack, Paul?
Never mind, Ellie. Just try to keep your critters from pestering Granny. You got her so upset she's got into her jug, and now she's seeing visions.
What kind of visions?
Well, I reckon it's all right to tell you. Granny thinks she seen a 5-foot jackrabbit.
Howdy, Mr. Jackrabbit. The weather's turned off real nice, ain't it? There's some mighty fine clover out there on the lawn if you want to fatten up. I mean, if you're hungry. Don't you go away. There's somebody I want you to meet. I'll be right back. Jed, come a running. I found him. Come quick. Dad, I seen him again. The giant jackrabbit.
I bet you did.
He's right out front. Come on, I'll show him to you.
Maybe you better lay down a spell.
No, he'll get away again.
All right, I'll take a look.
You see him, Jed? I lost my glasses. But he must be out there somewhere.
Well, yeah, I see him.
Is he out on the lawn eating clover?
Great big old pink jackrabbit.
Pink!
Now, don't get upset. There's other colors, too. There's a blue one. There's a green one. Here comes one with purple polka dots.
I wish I could see him.
What's that you say, Mr. Jackrabbit? All right, I'll tell her. He says he thinks you ought to go in and lay down.
Yeah, I think I better had Jed.
Howdy, Miss Jane.
Jethro! And you've got a wonderful surprise. But why do you look so worried, noble beast?
Because I can't find no good hunting place, that's why. And Granny gave the strict orders to bring home some meat.
Oh, Jethro, food should never be a problem to people of your means. There are markets, supermarkets, caterers.
Uncle Jed called that there Beverly caterer. He got mean-mouthed something awful.
Mean-mouthed?
Yeah. He says she's the nastiest tempered woman that ever answered a telephone.
Well, Mr. Drysdale shall hear this. The bank has a substantial interest in Beverly caterers. You wait here. Hello, Beverly caterers. 1 moment, please.
Hello. Have you spoken to a Mr. Jed Clampett today? What? Now, just a minute, young lady. What is your name? What do you mean, put and tame? Now, you put Mr. Tinsman on the phone and tell him it's Milburn Drysdale calling. Well, the nastiest tempered young woman I ever spoke to.
Jed, come quick. He's back again. He went outside there. Go look quick, Jed.
Who's that, Granny?
The giant jackrabbit.
Oh, him again. All right, where's the jug?
What jug?
The jug that rabbit keeps coming out of. The jug gave you that headache.
I ain't touched the jug. I busted my head running into them curtains.
Yeah, sure. They'll do it all right.
I gotta catch that giant jackrabbit. Where's my shotgun?
Well, Jethro's got it out hunting.
Well, then we gotta catch a snare and put a snare out for him.
Granny, wouldn't you rather lay back down and let me bring you a nice big cup of black coffee?
Now, I'm gonna catch that big giant jackrabbit whether you help me or not, and I don't care.
I'll help you.
All right. Now, you get me a nice big stout rope and put some bait in the snare.
Yeah, it'd take about 24 carrots for a rabbit that size.
Now you're thinking straight.
Yeah. Just took me a while.
Jethro.
The restitution is about to be made.
Yes. Now, give your Uncle Jed a message from
Tell
me.
him that the young woman who was so rude on the telephone will arrive in person to offer her abject apologies.
Yes. And tell Granny she needn't worry about food.
The young lady will also bring with her a truck full of delicious piping hot viands and an assortment of tasty beverages, all of which will be offered at your pleasure.
Yes. Have I anything else to say, Miss Hathaway?
No, Chief, I think you've said it all.
That sure is going to make Uncle Jed and Granny happy. Thank you, Mr. Drysdale.
Not at all. Glad to do it.
Now, let's see. If I was to tie another rope onto the bottom of that limb, pull it down, and then take my loop and put some carrots in it. Howdy, Mr. Jackrabbit. Would you like to step into my kitchen? You ain't gonna get away from me again, I can tell you that. Now, are you gonna come peaceable, or do I have to take you by force?
Quieten down, Granny. What's the matter now?
The giant jackrabbit. I had him cornered, but he fist-fought me.
Fist fought you.
Yes, he did. Now you go outside and belt him upside the jaw.
Granny, where are you hiding them jugs?
Oh, I'm gonna cook up a rabbit stew, and one giant rabbit will more than do.
Hey, Granny, you don't have to do no cooking. Like I said, that there Beverly Caterers is gonna bring over a whole truckload of viands and beverages.
I ain't depending on nobody with a temper as bad as her. Besides, I don't need her viands. For the next couple of weeks, we're gonna be eating high on the rabbit.
Well, where'd you get all the rabbits?
One rabbit, Jethro.
One rabbit? He must be a whopper.
Remember those big mountain jacks we used to see back home?
Yeah?
I seen me a jackrabbit that could put a pair of them in his pocket.
In his pocket?
Sure. He stands 5 feet tall, and he has a pocket, right? You don't believe me, do you?
Oh, yes, I do, Granny.
No, you don't.
Oh, Granny, I do.
No, you don't.
All right, I don't believe you.
How dare you call me a liar?
Mr. Tinsman, do I have to face Mr. Clampett all by myself?
Yes, you do. You're the one who insulted him on the phone. And you're the one he'll expect an apology from.
But he talked like a nut.
Miss Billington, a man as rich as Mr. Clampett may talk like an eccentric, but never like a nut.
I sure hope he'll forgive me.
He'll forgive you. If he's anywhere between 15 and 95, he'll forgive you. I'll take the food round to the kitchen.
Is Mr. Clampett at home?
I'm Jed Clampett. Come right in. This little fella don't say much, but he's right smart.
Mr. Clampett, I'm here to apologize about the way I spoke to you on the telephone earlier today.
Oh, you're, Beverly Caterers.
Yes, sir.
Oh, you're a deal younger than I figured. He prettier, too.
Thank you. I'm awfully sorry about losing my temper when you called.
Oh, now, I understand. Woman works hard all day cooking and doing for others. Young'un's hanging on her apron, and she gets a mite waspish. And you not having a husband to help.
Yes, that's right. I don't have a husband.
How many young'uns you got?
Young'uns?
Helping you with the cooking and fetching over to your place.
Oh, help. Well, let's see. 7.
7? Well, you must be from our part of the country. Got started young, didn't you? Well, come on. Granny will be wanting to meet you. She's out in the kitchen.
I gotcha, you big overgrown rascal. Now you're coming into the house to show you to Jed. And then you're going into the stew. That's where you're going.
Oh, that's Mr. Tinsman at the back door. He's my boss.
Come in, come in. I'm Jed Clampett.
A real pleasure, Mr. Clampett. I'm Bill Tinsman. I hope everything has been straightened out, and that Beverly Caterers will always be welcome in your home.
Why, you bet you're lying. This is a mighty fine young woman. She says you're her boss.
That is right. I own Beverly Caterers.
Dickens, you say. Can you do that out here?
Why, of course. Mr. Drysdale holds a small mortgage, but as soon as that's paid off, she's all mine.
Now, that don't take the ham off the hog.
Now, Jed, you can see I ain't been at no jug.
Now, these folks is Beverly Caterers and Bill Tinsman. These are the ones that does all the cooking.
I hope we can cook for you, Granny.
You can commence with this one. I caught him, now you can cook him. Why, you little varmint, you untied my giant jackrabbit.
Giant jackrabbit?
Yes, my giant jackrabbit. That's what I wanted you to cook for me. He stands about 5 foot tall, has brown eyes, and a pocket right here. Now, don't you go away. I'll go get him for you.
We'll be back directly. You all go in the parlor and let the little fella play piano for you.
You say eccentric? I still say nuts.
I say you're right. Let's get out of here.
I can't understand it. He was free. Why should he return?
Something must have frightened him.
I'll say, if he prefers this crate to freedom.
Yes, but what could it have been?
Hello, over there.
Yes, Granny, what is it?
You see anything of a jackrabbit?
No, we haven't.
You won't find any jackrabbits in Beverly Hills, Granny.
I'll telephone the zoo, sir.
I say there's a giant jackrabbit around here someplace, and I'm going to find him if it's the last thing I ever do.
Sure you are, Granny. Now, come in, lay down, and I'm gonna get that nice Beverly Caters to make a poultice for your head.
Granny, you caught something in your snare.
See, Jed wanted to tell you.
What'd she catch, Ellie?
Jethro!
Hey, Uncle Jed, cut me down! Uncle Jed! He cut me down! Hey, Uncle Jed!
Dog, if that don't sound like old Leif Crick from back home.
It does for a fact. What do you suppose that no account wants around here?
We'll soon find out.
Jed, doggone it, you come out here and let me in.
Leif, Jed.
Well, this is a surprise.
Granny, you little old possum, you. She ain't changed a bit, has she, Jed, huh? No bigger in a minute and scrappy as a baby hen.
Hey, look who's here.
Howdy there, Mr. Crick. Sure is good to see you.
Ellie Mae Clampett, you're as pretty as a fistful of pink hollyhocks. Yes, sir, Jed, everybody always did say we had the two prettiest girls in the hills.
Hey, is Esbel with you?
You bet she is. Hey, where's Jethro?
He ain't home from school yet.
How about Maudie? Bring her along?
Oh, I had to leave my woman home to do the chores, Granny. Roof needed patching, well caved in, had to be dug out, mule needed chewing, lots of little things like that. You know, we just poor gully jumpers. We don't roost high on a hill like you folks.
Esbel ain't out in the car, nor Mrs. Crick neither.
I had to leave my woman to home, Ellie Mae. And Essie Bell, she's over at the motel unpacking and purdying herself up.
Motel?
Why, Leif, we got plenty of room to take care of you and Essie Bell right here.
Well, now, Jed, you know I ain't one to trade on a friendship. Of course, after Jethro and Essie Bell's proper hitch, then we're going to be wanting to live near our kinfolk.
Hitched?
Jethro and Essie Bell?
You mean you don't know what that boy's been up to?
No, I can't say as I do, Leif.
Then we's got some talking to do, man to man.
Come on, Ellie, we'll make a pot of coffee.
Mr. Crick.
Yes, sir, you got a couple of fine women folk there. I reckon you're as proud of them as I am of mine.
I reckon.
I reckon you'd want to see right done by Ellie Mae just the same as I'd want to see right done by Essie Bell.
I reckon.
I reckon you wouldn't want no young man playing fast and loose with her feelings.
I reckon.
I reckon a man's daughter's just
All right,
about as...
Leif, supposing you stop blowing on the fur and get to the hide, what are you trying to say?
It don't come easy saying what I got to.
Well, let's go in and sit down and give it a try.
You got yourself a regular palace here. You got... I better take off my cloth I don't want to get you fancy coffee, old dude.
Just leave everything on, Leif, and sit down and speak your piece.
Oh, my. Sure do beat sitting on the stump now, don't it? I guess you got this here chair stuffed full of money, huh, Jed? Huh?
Yeah, Leif. Now, about Jethro and Essie Bell.
Well, to speak plain out, your Jethro done grabbed a hold to my Essie Bell's heart.
I don't recall Jethro mentioning Essie Bell's name since way last summer when she won that beauty contest.
That's when it happened.
What happened?
This happened. Love letters wrote by your Jethro to my Essie Bell.
Love letter?
Steaming hot love letters.
Someday I gotta have a long talk with that boy. Let me see the letters.
Jeb, I hadn't better. You having a purty, sweet, innocent young daughter of your own, You might just anger up to the point where you'd hurt that boy.
Jethro got out of line, did he?
Well, I wouldn't exactly call it getting out of line, providing his intentions is honorable.
These letters was wrote way last summer. How come you just getting here?
Well, now, I ain't a wallering in money like you, Jeff. I had to scrimp and save to get to where I could afford to make the trip. Why, I'm a poor man. Only treasure I got's my little Isabel.
All right, Leif. Not knowing what Jethro wrote, it's hard for me to speak. But I know he'll want to do the right thing, and I'll see that he does.
Spoke like a true hillman. Why, I said to Morty before I left, I said, dry your eyes, Morty. Jed Clampetts a man of honor. I says he'll see that Jethro does the right thing by our Isabel.
And I will, too, Leif. You can count on it.
Yes, sir, Jed, you sure got yourself a pal. I expect you got more money than a pig has grunts.
We's eating regular.
I expect a generous man like you's aiming to settle a heap of that money on Jethro when he gets married. Him being almost like a son to you and all.
Don't count your chickens before they're hatched, Leif Crick. I want to hear Jethro's side of this first.
Oh, you're a good man, Jed. Fair. Like I says to Isabel, I said, dry your eyes, honey. Jed Clampetts a fair man. He's going to do the fair thing. He's going to see you married fair and proper to Jethro.
And like I said to you, Leif,
Whoever's driving that truck's mighty shy on brain.
That's Jethro.
Fine boy.
Just call me Daddy, boy.
Jethro, Leif here says that last summer you wrote some love letters to his daughter, Isabel.
Love letters? Why, it ain't nothing to be ashamed of, son. Most natural thing in the world for a handsome boy like you to write letters to a beautiful girl like Isabel. Them was fine letters, too. You should be proud on them.
Well, thank you. Well, how come she never answered them?
Well, son, right after she won that beauty contest, she must have got hundreds of letters like yours, proposing marriage and things. Well, it took her a while.
Now, hold on, Leif. Jethro, did you propose marriage in them letters?
Oh, let me think.
Well, it ain't nothing to be ashamed of, son. Most natural thing in the world for a handsome boy like you.
Now, give him a chance to think, Leif. It ain't something comes easy to him.
Love ain't nothing you think about. Love comes from the heart.
He never said he was in love with Isabel.
Well, he always was. You remember when you used to tote her books home from school? Old Mel Pratt, he took them away from you and beat you up?
Yeah, but he was twice as big as me.
Yeah, but if you was to marry Isabel now, that would sure leave old Mel Pratt drinking from an empty jug.
Yeah? Yeah.
This ain't something you have to decide about right now.
Well, of course you don't. You just think on it for a while. Think about how Isabel's the prettiest girl in the hills.
Yeah?
Best dancer, too.
Yeah?
How much you'd like to marry her.
Yeah!
Take on, son.
Now, wait a minute, Jethro. Think what you're doing. You sure you're ready to support a wife? Could be you'd have to quit school.
Well, hot diggity dog, then I'm ready.
I'll bring Isabel over for supper. But first you go down to one of them fancy Beverly Hills jewelry stores and you pick out a great big diamond ring.
All right, and while I'm there, I'll get something for Isabel, too.
I'll see you later, son.
Bye-bye, Miss... Bye-bye, Daddy Crick. Woo-hoo! I'm gonna get married.
Someday I should have had a long talk with that boy.
Just a moment, please. I'm sure you must be in the wrong place.
Is this a jewelry store?
Well, yes, but we sell only the very finest and most expensive pieces. I suggest you try a notion store.
Jethro done got the notion what he needs now is a ring.
Hey, Uncle Jed, there's some rings over here.
Yes, but please, now, I'm sure you...
Them red diamonds is pretty.
Those are rubies.
Well, ask her if she wants to sell one.
Madam, the ruby I'm referring to is not a lady.
How she got them rings is her own business. Just ask her if she wants to sell one.
Perhaps you will understand how out of place you are when I tell you that no ring in this case sells for less than $10,000. Now, wouldn't you like to look elsewhere?
Yeah, show us where you keep the good stuff.
Security guard, please.
That's right, Paul. Mr. Drysdale said we should always ask for the best.
Did I hear you mention the name Drysdale?
Yes, sir?
Milburn Drysdale?
Yes, sir?
He's our next door neighbor.
He keeps Jed's $35 million in his bank.
Granny, I ain't sure it's 35 million no more. Might be close to 40 by now.
You got the phone in your hand. Call up Mr. Drysdale and see who's closer, Jed or me.
Stand by till I make one call. Things have been a little slow since Christmas.
Quiet in place, huh, Isabel?
I'll say. Gee, Paul, this is just about the biggest place I ever did see.
Yes, sir, Isabel. You did a mighty wise thing when you decided to marry up with Jethro.
I didn't decide, Paul, you did. I didn't even answer his letters.
Well, it was a good thing I did discover those letters. You'd have been married to that no-account Mel Pratt.
Mel Pratt ain't a no account. He's a good, strong, hard-working boy.
You gotta learn to keep your mouth shut, girl. You gotta learn to keep your mouth shut, especially when there's any food around. I still can't figure out where you found victuals enough to put on all that weight since last summer.
Mel Pratt's been feeding me. He wanted me to get good and strong so I could help him clear that acre of land.
That ain't land, girl. That's rocks. You want to marry up with a boy that's got an acre of rocks, you should at least have him cut and piled up into a fine palace like this one.
But Mel Pratt loves me, and I love him.
I don't want to hear that name no more, Isabel. You're gonna marry into the lap of luxury, girl. You're gonna wear fine clothes and jewels. You're gonna have servants to wait on your hand and foot. You're gonna have a butler running ahead of you, opening doors, all kinds of things like that.
Oh, look at that!
Stay right here now, Isabel. You don't want him to think we ain't never seen a butler before, do you?
I do hope you'll tell Mr. Drysdale how well we have treated you here. Ah, here we are. Now, this is the engagement ring.
Thank you.
You might, in a subtle way, of course, let the bride know that she is getting 10 perfect carats.
Well, that's mighty nice of you.
Nice my foot. After the money you spent, he could at least send her a smoked ham.
And here are Madame's lovely necklace and earrings.
How many carats did I get?
About 50. But of course, they're not perfect.
Well, in that case, I'll take turnips.
And for Mademoiselle, this beautiful diamond bracelet.
Do I get some carrots, too?
Oh, yes, indeed. About 30.
You sure are generous with your vegetables.
So are you, sir. You're going to be sending me a lot of cabbage.
I am?
Yes. Cabbage is money.
Well, your store, but I'll be dogged if I see how you stay in business. Looks like Lady Finesse Belly's here.
Yee-hoo! I want to see my sweetie.
Now, Jethro, you get a hold of yourself. I don't want you running in there and picking up that little girl and scaring her half to death.
Yes, sir.
You put the truck away. I'll wait for you here. We'll all go in together like a proper family order at a time like this.
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed.
Don't be too hard on him, Jed. Now that I think back, he must be desperate in love.
What makes you think so?
For the past week, he ain't at his supper.
For Jethro, that's desperate. That boy'll eat anything that don't bite him first.
Who's that a-coming, Paul?
Looks like that Beverly Caterers.
Yeah, the young widow that cooks for folks.
Hi, is Jethro ready?
Ready for what, ma'am?
For our regular date.
Howdy, Mary. sure is good to see you. You're right on time. Let's go.
Wait a minute, boy. You got a date with this girl?
Yes, sir, Uncle Jed. Well, every day after work, she picks me up, and we drive up into the hills and park and watch the sun go down. Then you know what we do?
Ellie Mae, go in the house. What do you do, boy?
Well, then we climb into the back of the truck and eat all the victuals that's left.
No wonder he ain't been eating his supper.
I've got your favorite today, Jethro. Swedish meatballs.
Jethro, the girl you're gonna marry is waiting in the house. You can't go running off with her and leave Essie Belle.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Marion, you reckon there's enough meatballs in the truck for the three of us?
Forget it.
Huh? Here's your blushing bride. Come give her a big hug.
Excuse me, ma'am. I'm looking for my sweet little old Essie Belle Crick from back home.
I'm right here, Jethro.
Jethro? Son? This here's Essie Belle.
You're Essie Belle Crick?
Yes, Jethro.
Marion!
Essie Belle, I just can't stand to watch you suffer. Ain't there anything I can do?
Yeah. Would you get me another pie out of the icebox?
There you are.
Thank you. Want some?
No, not right now. You don't appear to be too unhappy.
Oh, heck no. I like pumpkin pie as well as apple.
I mean, how about Jethro running off?
Mr. Clampett, if I told you something, would you promise not to tell Pa that I told? 'Cause he told me not to tell you. And if you tell him I told, well, there just ain't no telling what he might do.
Near as I can sort out the tails and the toes, I think I can promise.
It ain't Jethro I'm in love with. It's big old Mel Pratt back home.
Well, now, tell me more of what your pa told you not to tell.
Let's have no more of this running after other girls. Ain't no boy can love two girls.
That leaves Essie Belle out. She's about 2 girls and a half.
Mind your tongue, Jethro. You take a girl for better or worse when you marry her.
Yeah, but she got worse before I got married.
Fetch him in, Leif. I'll look after Essie Belle.
Come on, boy. Let's start talking about this wedding.
Well, Mr. Crick...
You call me daddy now you're marrying up with my daughter.
But, Mr. Crick, I don't think I want to get married. To nobody. I want to finish the 6th grade so as I can be a brain surgeon.
You should have started thinking about that before you wrote Essie Belle them hot, steaming letters full of love talk.
I don't remember no love talk.
You don't, huh? Now, just how'd you start them letters?
Dear Essie Belle.
Well, ain't that love talk, calling a woman dear?
It is. I'm in trouble with a lot of women. Men, too.
Well, Leif, I see you fetched him back, all right. Now, Jethro, you get upstairs and get packed for your honeymoon.
Oh, but Uncle Jed, I don't want
Oh, get up there and do like I tell you.
Oh, yes, sir.
You're a good man, Jed. Fair.
I try to be. What do you think of my giving Jethro and Essie Belle my house for a wedding present?
Oh, that is fair. That is really what you call fair.
Of course, it's just a little 2-room place, but they'll make out.
well, I ain't the best at counting, Jed, but I done towed up 12 rooms since I've been here.
Oh, I ain't talking about this place. I'm giving them my little shack back in the hills.
Back to home?
Yeah, there's half-acre land goes with it. Of course, it's mostly rocks and stumps, but a couple of strong young'uns like Jethro and Essie Belle have that thing cleared in 4 or 5 years.
Is that all you're gonna give them?
Oh, shucks, no. Essie Belle, fetch in that other wedding present I give you.
Coming, Daddy Clampett.
That's better. I always said you was a generous man. Why, just before I left home, I said to Morty, I said, why, Jed Clampetts a generous man. Why, there's just no telling what he... What are you doing with him?
Daddy Clampett gave him to Jethro and me to take home with us.
You can't take him home with you. Why, folks is liable to think he's my grandson.
Well, you could tell him he's a monkey. That ought to clear it up, leastwise for some folks.
Jed, you mean you ain't gonna give the young'uns no money?
Oh, you bet I am. Here you are, Essie. Here's a brand new penny for you to nail up over your cabin door. Ain't nothing brings you luck like a new penny.
Thank you, Daddy Clampett. Look, Pa, ain't it shiny?
You get that thing out of here. Why, you'd be better off marrying that Mel Pratt. He's got a whole acre and a nice cabin, and he's got a sow with a litter of pigs.
Now, just a minute there, Leif. Essie was promised to Jethro. While we're on that subject, let's have a look at her dowry.
I ain't got no dowry, Daddy Clampett.
Here, you don't want Jethro marrying no girl without a dowry. Now, Mel Pratt, he don't care. He'll take a dowry or no dowry.
How soon's the wedding? I'm all ready to dance.
There ain't gonna be no wedding, Granny. I'm taking my Essie out of here. Come on, Essie.
Now, just a doggone minute. I got all dressed up to have a wedding dance. Now, let's have it.
Well, she's gonna marry Mel Pratt.
Don't bother me with details. Let's get on with the wedding dance.
I sure do love my wedding presents from the Clampetts, Pa, don't you?
For a fact, I do, daughter. Always said you was a generous man, Jed.
Forget it, Leif. All it's gonna cost me is...
There you are, Skipper.
Ellie Mae, you better learn Skipper some table manners or Granny ain't gonna let him eat in her kitchen.
I'd a heap rather have him eating in my kitchen than that big, overgrown, lazy, good-for-nothing Leif Crick.
Now, Granny, don't start on Leif again. He's gone. He's on his way back to the hill.
He don't live in the hills. He lives in the gully. And it's his kind that give the hill people a bad name.
He's on his way back to the gully and his daughter with him. Now, let's forget him.
Granny, don't get yourself all angered up.
Who's angered up?
You are, because that Leif Crick tried to get you to marry his daughter. Ain't that right?
Shucks, no. They's both gone back home.
I'm the only one that has the gumption to hold a grudge. It's a sorry thing when a poor old stove-up, wore-out, gray-haired old granny has to do all the grudge holding in the family.
Well, leave go of it, Granny. Leif is gone, and you can't start a fire without you got two sticks to rub together.
You calling me a stick?
Start in on me. Here. Have some of this scalding hot coffee. It'll cool you down.
Here we are, Mr. Crick.
Ma'am, I just don't know how to thank you. A fine, beautiful young city girl like you giving a poor old hound dog like me a ride in your beautiful automobile?
Nonsense, Mr. Crick. The moment you told me that you were Mr. Clampett's nearest and dearest friend...
Like that, Jed and me. Two peas in a pod. Always was.
I'd be so happy that you're staying over.
Missing my own daughter's wedding to do it. But I says to myself, I says, Leif, I says, if you can pleasure Jed and Granny and them young'uns even that itty-bitty bit by staying over here like they begged you to, you just gotta forget your own pleasure.
Just like Mr. Clampett, always thinking of others.
Like that, Jed and me. Two birds and a mule's tail. Always was.
I wish I could stay and see this joyous reunion between two old friends, but I must be getting back to the bank.
Yeah. You take good care of old Jed's money, you hear? You keep a tight hold on it now.
Don't you worry, it's safe.
That's comforting to know.
It's comforting to know that Mr. Clampett has friends like you. I hope you can stay for a while.
I'm going to try my best. You got my word.
Skipper and me'll be back to help you with the dishes, Help me with the dishes, and that's what you get when you deal with those gully people. Leif, Crick, Essie, and Bell. I'll tell you, I've seen some things, and that's the way it is. I never won actually trash.
there, Skipper. Mr. Crick.
You speak to me, boy.
That was late exposed, Mr. Crick.
Hi there, Ellie. I get to my feet, honey, only I'm so tired from walking all the way up here.
Well, I thought you went back home for Isabel's wedding.
Oh, Ellie, darling, promise me you never gonna treat your pa the way that girl treated me.
What did she do?
Went away and left me stranded, without no car, no money, no food, all sick and starving.
We got plenty of food, and Granny will doctor you back to health.
No, honey. I don't want to burden nobody, but I would like to see your pa's face just one more time before I pass on to my reward. Now, maybe if you was to help me, I could get to my feet and make my way to the table. I mean, to wherever your pa is.
Well, he's in the kitchen.
Good.
I am cooking grits and jowls, Billy boy, Billy boy. I am cooking grits and jowls, charming Billy. And my victuals will be safe now that Ree is rid of Lake. He's a good-for-nothing, low-down, lazy varmint.
Hello, dear, sweet little old granny.
He's back and drunk to boot.
What's the matter, Granny?
It's Leif Crick. That good-for-nothing, low-down, lazy, victual-stealing, liquor-drinking gully jumper.
Granny, I thought you'd blow it off all that steam.
I did, but he's back and I'm commencing to boil again.
Leif is back?
Yes, but not for long. Give me that axe.
Dear old friend, I didn't have it in mind to bother you none, but Ellie Mae found me and forced me to come in and have some victuals to help me get my strength back.
Well, you're always welcome at our table, Leif.
Oh, no. I ain't looking for no handout. Leif Crick ain't one to be asking for charity. No, sirree. Leif Crick wants to work for what he gets.
I didn't know there was two Leif Cricks.
Well, ain't no call for you to work, Leif, but if it make you feel any better, here's the axe. You can help Jethro yonder cut some wood.
I'd be glad to. I'd be proud to do it, but I think first I'll change into my work clothes. I wouldn't want to get my Sunday go-to-meeting suit all mussed up.
That ain't a bad hour's work, Jethro.
I'll say it ain't. Can we stop for victuals now, Uncle Jed?
Quick as Leif gets through eating, Granny's feeding him first.
Well, I thought Granny didn't like him.
Well, it ain't that. It's just that it's dangerous for other folks to sit at a small table with Leif when he's eating.
Does swing his knife and fork around right lively.
Like a snare drummer at a Possum Day parade.
I was going, Granny. I'm going, Granny. My poor old crippled knee let me.
What crippled your knee?
Well, the rheumatism, Granny. Now, if you was to give me a little bit of your rheumatism...
Move on.
Well, Leif, you ready to go to work, are you?
Can't hardly wait to sail into it, Jed. Got my working clothes on now.
You notice the only place his working clothes is patched, don't you?
Now, Granny. Maybe he's turned over a new leaf.
Not unless there's food under it.
What you got in the pan?
Nothing. I was using it to dip grits and jowls for Leif. I couldn't keep ahead of him with a spoon.
I can't believe it. I can't believe that one man could work like that.
This one can. He's another Jed Clampett.
Howdy, Miss Hathaway, ma'am. I'm afraid you caught me resting a bit.
Well, you deserved a rest. Why, from my place, it sounded like there were 3 or 4 men over here, sawing, chopping, splitting logs.
Well, that's just the way I work, sir.
Oh, Mr. Crick, permit me to introduce Mr. Clampett's next-door neighbor and the president of our bank, Mr. Drysdale.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Crick.
I ain't good enough to shake the hand of no bank president, sir.
Now, don't be ridiculous. I'd be honored to shake your hand.
It's all rough and full of calluses from working every day from sunup to sundown.
Hi, George. You and Jed Clampett are certainly cast from the same mold.
Is that like this, Mr. Drysdale?
2 peas in a pod.
2 birds and a mule's tail. Well, if you gentlemen will excuse me, I'll run along and say hello to Jethro.
Sit down, man. You must be exhausted.
Shucks no, Mr. Banker. Way I work, I could go on like this for days. Of course, it is beginning to catch up with me a mite. I ain't a young fella like you.
Oh, I'm not so young.
Well, according to Jed, you are. His exact words to me, he says, now, you be sure and speak to young Mr. Drysdale about that job.
Job?
Doggone it, I wasn't going to let that slip out. I was bound and determined not to. Well, you just forget it, Mr. Banker. It's Jed's idea, not mine.
No, tell me all about it. Any idea of Jed Clampett's? I want to hear.
Well, Jed, he had this notion that you could hire me to watch his money for him down to your bank.
Oh, you mean like a guard or a night watchman?
Night watchman. That sounds like it.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Having Leif Crick around will lead to nothing but trouble.
You're right, Granny.
That's a fact.
Yes, ma'am.
I know the Cricks better than any of you. I knew his pa and his pa before him. And the 3 of them put together ain't worth the powder it would take to blow them up.
You're right, Granny.
That's a fact.
Yes, ma'am.
Leif Crick is all talk. Another tongue bigger than a hay wagon. Why, he'd mealy mouth you out of your eye teeth and sell 'em back to you.
You're right, Granny.
That's a fact.
Yes, ma'am.
When it comes to Leif Crick, I know what I'm talking about. And it won't do any good to argue with me.
You're right. Let's all quit arguing with Granny so as we can eat.
How can I dish the victuals if you don't hold your plates up?
You're right.
That's a fact.
Yes, ma'am.
There you are. I've just left your friend Leif Crick. What a hard-working, industrious, wonderful man he is.
What did you say?
Then it's settled. If Jed Clampett wants you as a night watchman at my bank, a night watchman you are.
If you put it that way, I'm afraid I can't take the job.
Oh, why not?
Well, it makes me feel like I'd treat a possum with Jed's hound.
Oh, of course, I see your point. You don't want to feel, what's the word, beholden to Jed, eh?
That's right, Mr. Drysdale. I'm a poor man. I'm as rough as a cob and plain as dirt, but I got my pride.
You are like Mr. Clampett.
Like that, Jed and me. 2 berries on a bush, all as was.
All right. I'll say it was my idea to hire you. Now, when do you want to start to work?
How about tonight?
Can you get some rest?
Rest? What's that?
Mr. Crick, men like you are few and far between.
Thank you. Boss.
I tell you, Granny, the man is a veritable one-man sawmill. Cutting, chopping, splitting logs.
You see, Granny, old Leif has changed.
Well, if he has, I'm going to jump in that pond with all of my clothes on.
In a bank, at night, with a gun, and $40 million. Yahoo! Yahoo!
See, Granny? I told you so.
Yahoo!
I dog you, Granny. She was right. Granny. Granny always was a woman of her word. Want me to fetch you a jug of rheumatism medicine?
Oh, never mind. I can't believe it. I seen it, but I can't believe it. Leif Crick swinging an axe, splitting wood.
You ain't heard the best part, Granny. Old Leif done got himself a job.
A job. Leif Crick?
That's right.
I've changed my mind. Fetch my jug.
Yes, sir. Old Leif's going to work down at Mr. Drysdale's bank.
The bank where you got your money?
That's right.
Jed, turning a rascal loose like that in a bank is like putting a hungry fox in a hen house.
Give the man a chance, Granny. Maybe it's a good thing for Leif to learn a trade. At least now folks will know what kind of work he's out of. Good. Want me to fetch your drinking thimble?
No. This calls for a cool head and warm feet.
All ready to go, Mr. Crick.
I sure do appreciate you carrying me to the bank, boy.
Glad to do it. If I stayed here, I'd have to dig a hole under the alum tree for Granny. And that there's hard work. I mean, the W-O-R-K. Granny told me never to say that word around you. Gets you to cussing.
Jethro, you shouldn't do work like digging a hole. Fine, handsome boy like you.
Shucks, it's no harder than cutting wood or plowing or clearing stumps.
You ought to get yourself married, son. Then you wouldn't have to do woman's work.
Yeah.
Make yourself comfortable, Mr. Crick. Mr. Drysdale will be right back.
Thank you, ma'am. My, this must be the finest, most beautiful office in all the world.
Oh, I'd hardly say that.
Well, I reckon it must be you, ma'am. Pretty girl always makes a room pretty.
Mr. Crick, you devil.
Oh, this is where you keep old Jed's money, is it?
Yes, the Commerce Bank is very proud to be the guardian of the fortune belonging to your nearest and dearest friend.
Like that, Jed and me. 2 drips of dew, all as was.
Well, make yourself at home. I'll just have a few words with Jethro.
A fine boy, Jethro. Yes. Looking for a wife. You and him would make a mighty handsome couple. Well, blue blazes, do they keep Jed's money?
Good to see you, Jethro. Mr. Crick, what are you doing?
Giving thanks, Mr. Drysdale, sir. Just giving thanks for a fine, generous, upstanding young man like yourself letting a poor old razorback like me work in his fine bank, looking after the money of his nearest and dearest friend.
Wait, Crick. You're a good man. Jed Clampett is wealthy in more ways than one.
He is?
Yes. A friend like you is worth more than $1 million.
Oh, I do hope to be, sir. I do hope to be.
Where is that no-account, overgrown, big, lazy...
Granny, I told you Leif's got a job.
I'm talking about Jethro. He promised to commence to dig me a root cellar.
Well, Jethro is taking Leif to work. I'm going to start the root cellar for you.
One bad apple will spoil the barrel. You mark my words. That Leif is going to turn those young'uns into a no-account like himself.
Granny, Skipper and me's ready to help dig your root cellar. Ain't we, Skipper? Come on, Skip, let's go.
Don't look like them two are spoiled, man.
Give him time.
Leif ain't going to be around to do much spoiling. I bet you Mr. Drysdale's got him working to beat the band right now.
I didn't singe your whiskers, did I?
No, not a bit. First time I ever tied into one of these. Is it all for me, or do I give you half?
No, I don't smoke them. Mr. Crick, would you like me to send for my barber?
Oh, no, I can smoke it by myself.
No, I thought you might want a shave and a haircut. My barber would be happy to come over here to my office and give you one.
You mean right while I'm a-setting here?
All I have to do is call him.
That sure is handy.
Yes, isn't it?
I'll just keep that in mind if I ever should need a shave and a haircut.
Yeah.
Well, right now, I'm anxious to get to work. That's the kind of a man I am. I'm not much of a one for sitting around.
Good.
What I have in mind for night watching old Jed's money is if you was to put it into some gunny sacks, I'd set on them sacks with my shotgun across my lap. Now, then you wouldn't have to worry at all. You could just go off someplace and sleep like a baby.
Mr. Crick, I'm afraid you have a slight misconception about the way we guard our money here at the bank. In the first place, Mr. Clampett's fortune isn't actually here.
It ain't.
Oh, most of it ain't. Isn't. And the money we do keep here is locked in a massive steel vault which cannot possibly be opened at night.
That kind of worries me, old Jed and me being like that.
Well, you can stop worrying. And Mr. Clampett knows his money is perfectly safe, and he knows he can get all he wants anytime he wants it.
And is all that, huh?
He doesn't even have to leave his house.
Well, my, that is handy. Oh, my, look at all that daylight out there. Why, I've got time to chop old Jed another cord of wood or two before sundown.
You, sir, are the hardest working man I have ever seen.
Habit of a lifetime, sir. Jethro, you out there?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Crick. Jethro thought you were staying here. He's gone home.
Oh, well, it's only 5 or 6 miles to old Jed's place. I guess I'll just run it. Good for my rheumatiz.
Oh, Mr. Crick, wait just a minute. Chief, may I drive him home?
Of course. Fantastic man. A human dynamo.
Yes, it was quite amusing. When the Clampetts first arrived, Granny insisted the entire fortune be changed into silver so it could be buried in the backyard.
What did you say?
Buried in the backyard?
I sure do thank you. You've been a great help to me. I'll be seeing you.
What a bundle of energy. A fine example for Jethro.
There you are, Jethro. Now get out there and commence digging your granny's root cellar.
But, Uncle Jed, Mr. Crick says I ain't supposed to do women's work.
See what I told you? The bad apple is commencing to spoil the barrel.
Jethro, you don't listen to what Mr. Crick tells you. You do what I tell you. Now get on out there. I'll join you in a minute with the shovel.
Yes, sir.
Here comes the wormy wine sap now. I'm gonna fetch my shotgun.
Jethro, stop your granny.
Yes, sir.
But what you fixing to do, Jed?
I was fixing to do a little digging out back yonder.
Well, I'll do it for you.
You could help if you're a mite.
No, I want to do it all myself.
I stopped her, Uncle Jed. Well, let's commence the digging under that big old elm out there.
Doggone it, Jethro. I want to do all the digging around here.
Leaf, the kind of digging that Granny wants done would take one man all day.
Well, hard work never hurt nobody. I'll see you in the morning.
It's a miracle. A plumb miracle.
I said it last night and I'll say it again this morning. If that Leif Crick has dug me a root cellar, I'll jump back into the cement pond with an anvil in my arms.
I wouldn't say too much, Granny. Leif's been right full of surprises lately.
He's nothing but...
Seen enough, Granny?
Yep. Fetch the anvil.
We ain't got an anvil.
I was counting on that. Some coffee.
That's deep enough, Leif. Veer a little to the right.
Thank you, Jed!
Well, now, listen here, fella. Don't be such a pig. Sorry, Porky, I didn't mean it. Skipper, you're getting to be a right big help to me.
Ellie Mae, get these varmints out of here.
Granny, they ain't varmints. They's my critters.
I don't care if they's your cousins. Get them out of my kitchen before I make stew out of them. Jed, Ellie Mae's critters are crowding me out of my own kitchen. How soon you gonna have my root cellar ready?
Well, it won't be long now, Granny. Leif Crick got the most of it done. Jethro and me's going in there, square off the corners, and put in the framing.
Well, let's hurry it up. I need a place where I can get off to myself.
Well, Jethro's down in the hole now. Let's go see how he's doing. Awful dark down there. How's it going, Jethro?
Hey, Uncle Jed! Hey, Uncle Jed! Uncle Jed, pull me up!
Okay, boy. It'll be a dandy deep one, Granny. Ain't nothing gonna bother you down there.
That suits me just fine. Of course, if a cyclone comes up, I'll let the rest of you join me in my cellar.
Thank you.
Just till it blows over. Then I want everybody out.
Uncle Jed, Granny!
What you got smeared all over you?
This here's oil.
What?
You done hit oil again. Well, I swung my pick. Pretty soon it was bubbling up and spurting all over the place.
Well, there goes my root cellar.
Let's look on the bright side, Granny. I think we're in time to plug it up. Yes, Drew. Grab a shovel. Help me fill in this hole.
Don't you want the oil?
I need more oil like Custer needed more engines. Hurry up, let's go.
Good morning, Chief.
Morning. Can you think of any reason why Jed Clampett would be digging a large hole in his backyard?
No, not unless he's going to take his money out of your bank and bury it. Sorry, Chief.
We do not joke about such things. Now find out why the Clampetts are digging.
Yes, sir.
That's it. Big smile. Hold it.
What's going on in my office?
Yes, that. Well, it seems some girl from the secretarial pool has been chosen to represent the bank in the contest for Queen of Beverly Hills.
Oh.
Chief, it seems to me that intellectual measurement should determine who will represent this bank.
You've got something there. Of course, she's got something there, too.
Morning, Mr. Drysdale. Did we have a picture of you with your bank's representative?
Well, seems only fitting and proper.
Fine. Right over here in front of the desk. Pardon me.
Chief, I thought you agreed with me that intellect was more important than cheesecake.
Oh, yes, we do want an intellectual look. You are a secretary, right?
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Drysdale.
That's better.
Excuse me. And now let's have a nice big smile. Hold it. Thank you, Mr. Drysdale. I'm sure your representative will win the race for Queen.
Oh, I hope so. After all, that's what I'm paying you for.
Good morning, Mrs. Drysdale.
Good morning. Where is my husband's secretary?
She's in his office with him.
Thank you.
Do you really take shorthand?
Well, not very fast.
It's not too important.
She is a secretary?
Word of honor, this is, what is your name?
Candy Davis.
Candy, yes. Well, this is,
My name is Margaret.
Mrs. Drysdale.
See that your employees dress properly.
Yeah, see that our employees dress properly.
Dress properly, employee.
Well, now, Milburn, there is another explanation that I'd like.
Yes, dear.
Those hillbilly friends of yours are defacing that beautiful estate next to us. They're burrowing about like so many gophers. I want to know why.
Well, I did ask somebody to look into that. You.
Chief, I forgot.
She forgot.
I'll look into it immediately.
Really, Milburn, I've taken all I can from those Clampetts.
Well, I haven't. That oil money still keeps rolling in.
Money isn't that important. Who steals my purse steals trash.
Shake hands with a dedicated trash collector.
I'm terribly sorry, but Miss Commerce Bank forgot her banner.
What is this beauty contest nonsense?
Well, it's in connection with Beverly Hills' 50th birthday celebration, the semi-centennial.
You see, Margaret, it is important. The spotlight of the world will be on our fair city.
And what will the spotlight show? 4 unkempt hillbillies digging holes in the ground.
Who's going to look at them with 100 girls like this parading around?
I told you to wait in my office.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
I hope you're not going to overlook the intellectual approach to this contest. The girl who wins will reign as Queen of Beverly Hills, and she wins a trip around the world.
Milburn, that's it. Winning this beauty contest could solve everything.
Oh, Margaret, Jane couldn't win with a rented figure.
But Ellie Mae Clampett could win. And naturally, her family will want to go around the world with her.
I don't like the idea.
Oh, please, Milburn, just during the semi-centennial.
No, Margaret, I don't like it.
Very well. Mother will arrive tomorrow for a 6-month visit.
I like it.
Gonna have a root cellar 60 foot deep, where I can sit alone and rock and never hear a peep. And if Ellie brings her figures in, I'll throw them out the door. Jethro, dig me down 60 feet more. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. La-di-da-di-da. What happened?
I done struck oil again.
It's a regular plague. It's a black day, Jethro.
Sure enough, it's for me.
I need a root cellar the worst way. I got some goat cheese that should have been put underground a year ago. If it gets any riper, it's going to run us out of the house.
Granny, look who's come to see us, Granny.
Jethro, what have you been doing?
Digging a hole in the ground. But every time I start
Jethro, we ain't talking about them holes, remember?
Oh, I am. I was just trying to tell Miss Jane that every
Go
time
on
I
outside and wash up.
Thank you. Dig the hole, Jethro. Get some. Don't talk, Jethro. Just keep quiet. Don't talk.
Mr. Clampett, we shouldn't have secrets from one another. Now, let's discuss those holes you're digging.
Well, we better hadn't, Mr. Drysdale. Liable to get you all stirred up.
What? Is it about your money? Tell me.
You see, you're stirred up already.
Let me ask Mr. Clampett's help with my problem. Perhaps that will solve yours. Could we step outside?
Yeah, but not too far outside.
Very well. Chief, why don't you stay and visit with Granny?
Granny, let me tell you some of the advantages of the modern-day bank vault over, say, a hole in the ground.
I'm listening.
Mr. Clampett, the city of Beverly Hills is about to choose a queen.
You don't say.
Yes, a number of beautiful girls have entered the race.
How many you got running?
Quite a few, but there's always room for one or two more.
And another advantage is that our vault is nice and dry. In fact, air-conditioned. Now, things become moldy and damp when left underground too long.
I've known that to happen. But it would be a mite unhandy for me to have to go clean down to your bank every time I wanted something.
Now, but you won't have to. You just pick up the phone, tell me how much you want and when you want it, and it'll be here like that.
Real?
Yes, ma'am. Now, that'll be much handier than using your own backyard, won't it?
Yeah. Especially after all the trouble we had trying to dig them holes out there.
Now, here are some of the other advantages.
And in addition to reigning over the city of Beverly Hills as queen, the winner will also get a trip around the world.
Well, doggies.
Yes. There'll be parties and dances. She'll be the center of attention, besieged by handsome, eligible men.
You know, something like this is exactly what Ellie Mae needs to turn her into a lady.
You are right. What a wonderful idea.
Well, she got a chance of winning?
Mr. Clampett, if Ellie Mae runs for queen, I can practically assure you that she will win the race.
I hope I can get her to run.
Jed, Mr. Drysdale has done talked me into not digging any more holes. I'm for keeping everything in the vault down to his bank.
Whatever you say, Granny.
Come on in and help me toast something. We'll be right back.
You know what, Granny? The city of Beverly Hills is going to have a queen.
No.
And you know how they're going to pick the queen?
How?
They're going to have all the girls run a foot race.
I'll be switched.
Congratulations, Chief. You did a great job.
I was mildly magnificent. How did you do?
Mission accomplished. Ellie Mae will enter the race for queen, and the finals will be held beside the Clampett swimming pool.
By George, that calls for a raise.
Chief, it's all in the line of duty.
Oh, no, it isn't. I deserve a raise, and I'm going to have it.
Hey, now, Mr. Drysdale. Granny tells me you're going to keep all these victuals for her down in the vault in your bank.
That ain't all, Jed. If ever I need anything, he's going to fetch it out here himself.
Well, that is surpassing kind.
I wouldn't open that until you get it down to that air-conditioned vault.
Now, Granny's got cheese in there. It'll walk down to the bank by itself if you give it a chance.
Look up, Chief. Half a victory is better than none.
Wait till you hear who's going to run in the race for Queen of Beverly Hills.
I heard. And I think Ellie Mae will win.
Don't be too sure.
Who could possibly beat her?
Well, Granny's going to try.
Huh?
Oh, Granny, you haven't got a chance.
We'll see about that. My legs is every bit as good as Ellie Mae's.
Well, don't just stand there. Pick up your basket and let's get back to the vault.
Where do they come off thinking I ain't got a chance to be queen?
Now, cool down, Granny. I reckon they just never seen how fast you can run. On your mark.
Now do your best to give me.
Get set.
Who won, Jed?
Well, when you passed me, appears like Ellie was out in front of you a little.
That don't mean nothing. She's out in front of me, standing still.
Maybe you better sit down for a spell. Now, Granny, you sure you want to race against all them young girls?
You're darn tootin'. I'd do anything to be queen of Beverly Hills.
How come you're so anxious?
'Cause when I'm queen, folks will have to do what I tell them to. And I got a lot of changes in mind for this town.
Sorry I beat you, Granny.
You only beat me because we was running on level city paving. I'm a stump jumper and a hedge hopper. Ted, you and Jethro wrestle me up something to jump over. I'll show this young'un how to run.
Granny, you might could get hurt.
Like I said, Granny, I don't care nothing about being queen. You don't have to race me.
Now, you listen to me. Both of you. If I'm going to sit on the throne of Beverly Hills, these legs is going to take me there. Now, you get ready to run. And don't hold back.
On your mark. Get set.
How'd we do that time, Jed?
I'm afraid the young'un edged you again. You ready to sit down and rest now?
No, I'm just commencing to get limbered down.
Hello? Don? Well, I don't care what it smells like. It stays in the vault until I say take it out.
Hold on, Granny. You gotta slow down and rest a spell.
Where do you get off like that giving orders to the next queen of Beverly Hills?
You're no queen. You've been running for 2 hours straight.
And as soon as Ellie Mae gets her wind, I'm gonna race her to Pasadena and back.
Come in.
Oh, Granny, I'm to talk to you immediately about running for queen.
You in the race, are you?
Oh, no, I'm hardly at my best in a bathing suit.
Bathing suit? Why would you wear one of them things?
Well, all the contestants have to wear bathing suits.
Not me.
But it's one of the rules.
Then I'm taking myself out of the race.
I don't blame you, Granny.
Why, if I was to show up in one of them skimpy bathing suits, it might start the men folks to fighting over me. And I hear tell that these city men are bold to begin with. And one of them rascals might run up and grab me and hug me and kiss me and tote me off and marry me. And I'd just put myself back in the race.
So, you see, Miss Davis, being a beauty queen isn't all fun. It's lots of hard work, too.
Oh, I won't mind that. I'll just keep thinking about that wonderful trip around the world.
Wonderful. Have you ever had those shots they give you? It's a nightmare. Why, your arms will ache for weeks, and you'll break out in these large black and blue bumps, and sometimes break out in a rash.
Well, other people have gone through it. I guess I can.
Now, wait, you haven't heard the worst part of it.
Mr. Drysdale, I'm representing your bank. Don't you want me to win?
Well, of course I do. But I feel responsible. I feel duty-bound to show you both sides of the picture. You might want to drop out.
Now, don't you worry about that. Nothing can discourage me. I'm going to win that contest for you.
Thanks a million.
Well, Chief, mission accomplished. Ellie Mae will be the sole entry from the Clampett family. How did you do?
No good.
Cheer up. Ellie has a good chance of beating her.
Oh, Miss Hathaway, Mr. Drysdale, can we be getting back to town? I have a date tonight with the head judge.
The finalists are the representative of the Commerce Bank, Miss Candy Davis, and our unsponsored contestant, Miss Ellie Mae Clampett. Excuse me, Mr. Milburn Drysdale, the president of the Commerce Bank, has an announcement to make.
Thank you, Mr. Cummings. Due to circumstances beyond her control, Miss Candy Davis has been forced to withdraw from the contest. However, ladies and gentlemen, she will receive a trip around the world at the expense of the bank. And a substitute will appear in her place.
Our two finalists will please come forward. Miss Clampett first. And now the new entry representing the Commerce Bank.
Are you kidding? Not at all. The Commerce Bank feels that intellectual measurements are more important than physical ones. And we have every confidence that you'll agree with us.
Are you kidding?
Each contestant will now step to the microphone and tell us in her own words how she intends to represent the city of Beverly Hills as queen on her world tour. Miss Jane Hathaway.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I am so fortunate as to win, you may rest assured that I will carry the message of our cultural and intellectual achievements to our sister cities from pole to pole.
And now we will hear from the winner. I mean, Miss Clampett.
Well, first off, I'm gonna take my critters, especially my skunk, along with me. Because critters, especially skunks, don't get much of a chance to travel. I'm gonna take my Pa and Granny and Jethro and our hound dog, old Duke, with me. I'll be mighty proud to represent the city of Beverly Hills. But just betwixt you and me, I'd heap rather Miss Jane here would win.
One moment, please.
I figured Ellie made a right good speech, didn't she?
First rate.
Done herself proud.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? Quiet, please. After due deliberation, our judges have come to a unanimous decision. The young lady who will represent the city of Beverly Hills as queen is none other than our distinguished judge, Miss Karen Crandall.
I'm so grateful to Bob. I mean, Mr. Cummings. I mean, the head judge.
Where are you going, Granny?
I'm gonna throw her in the cement pond. Her and them other goomer judges with her. Now, don't tell me anything.
Today's presentation.